All right, so here we go. Russell Wilson saying losing Ciara is his biggest fear. That's what's going on with Russell Wilson. All right, let's get into it. GQ's magazine's Modern Love is issue dropped just in time for Valentine's Day. The feature highlights three famous couples: Ciara and Russell Wilson, Naomi Osaka and Corday, and Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird. Although all the couples featured are wonderful in their own right, the sexy R&B singer and her handsome football star husband are an entire mood. For the Modern Love issue, Wilson and Ciara sat with the publication to play the couples quiz and answer in-depth questions about their marriage. Two lovebirds have been married for almost 5 years, according to GQ. Ciara has sold over 20 million records since her start as a teen, explained that her life with Wilson is everything she wanted. I feel like I could look back in a crystal ball when I was a little girl, Ciara told GQ, and I looked at the idea of my family and what it would be for me. It's exactly this. She also disclosed to GQ that the advice Wilson gave her that helped her through difficult times. Consider it pure joy when you face trials and tribulations, for the testing of your faith produces perseverance, Ciara recounted, referring to a passage from James 1, the first chapter, verses 2 to 4 in the Bible. Oh boy. When I think about this, I think about how if Russell Wilson ever learns the truth about divorce and remarriage, that he is basically in adultery being with Ciara. And a lot of celebrities are in second, third, fourth, fifth marriages. And they end up dying and going to hell. And now granted, Russell, his wife cheated on him with other football players. All right. And he was hurt, and he wanted to date somebody else. He ended up dating and marrying Ciara. The problem with that is, according to the Bible, unless your spouse is dead, you can't remarry, and it doesn't matter what they've done to you. You could always separate if there's violence or infidelity, because infidelity, you put the person at risk of catching a disease, or worse, raising a kid that's not yours. But according to the Bible, you are to remain celibate unless your spouse dies or you want to reconcile, and if they want to reconcile. Consider it pure joy when you face trials and tribulations. He told me that when I was in a really, really tough place, it was a tough time I was going through. And when he said to me, I just thought about that, she continued. Wilson, the superstar quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, spoke to the commitment it took to maintain a healthy marriage. He also said he was grateful for the time they share. We're just grateful that we got to spend time together every day, Wilson says. Every morning we wake up together. It's a blessing. We get to smile from ear to ear and know that, let's go, let's do this. As a doting dad, Wilson talked about his children and his role in their lives. And unfortunately, wanting to be a Christian and living through God's ways, it means sacrifice, and the fact that he would have to give up his marriage. It's not even a marriage, it's adultery. And he would have to go through the child support hearings and all this stuff. And it could hurt him. It could crush him. Many people are in adultery, and they have kids and they have a marriage going on, and it's pleasing to the world, but it's an offense to God. And to do what God wants you to do, and it's like John the Baptist was saying, make way for the Lord, make way for the Lord, make your crooked path straight. That's the demand, to make your crooked path straight. And this is it. He would have to sacrifice this adulterous union. Our family is beautiful, blended family, but it's also, our family, he said. It's us. The reality of being a step-parent is that biologically they're not necessarily yours, but the reality is that you have to love them if they are. They're your own blood in a way, You get to love them that way. The interview covered every aspect of their blissful union, but it was the quiz that reiterated why Wilson and Ciara's love makes them marriage goals. Good grief. When Wilson asked his wife about his biggest fear, she responded to his question with lightning speed. Not being prepared, Ciara quickly responds, "Yeah, but I probably have one bigger than that," her husband responded. Ciara asked playfully, "What is it, losing?" "Yes, losing you." Soon, the couple also implemented a rule that doesn't allow them to go longer than 5 days without seeing one another. Marriage isn't easy, but Wilson and Ciara are clearly doing the work that make it last. The sad thing is that you have some adulterous marriages, they last until death. And they're with somebody that they love and they're compatible with, and they have a joyful union. Problem is, it's not a union that God blesses. God wants us in either to be alone or be with our marriage partner, even if it's difficult, even if they hurt us, even if we hurt them, or we break each other's heart. That's what he wants. Unfortunately, that's what he wants. And it takes a lot of surrender to even want that, or to deal with the trials of being alone. Even that's a battle, because you may end up falling into some other sin, and end up going to hell in the process, in this fight for the faith. According to the Bible, Romans chapter 1, unless your husband is dead, you cannot remarry. Matthew, you divorce and remarry, it's adultery, and whoever marries a divorced person, commits adultery. And people will say, like, well, if they cheat, you could remarry. No. Okay. Jesus said, if you marry a divorced person, you commit adultery. So Ciara's in trouble too. And the disciples said afterwards, if such be the case, it's better not to marry. If it was okay for a person to remarry after divorce, then the disciples would never say, if such be the case, it's better not to marry. Once you're in, there's no getting out unless one of the married partners are dead. All right. This is Truth Pill. Later.